I still laugh when I think about it now, but at the time it felt unreal, like the universe had picked the pettiest possible way to test my sanity. I got sued for fishing. In my own neighborhood lake. Not vandalism, not noise complaints, not building a meth lab in the garage, no bass fishing. On a Tuesday morning, 6 a.m., coffee barely kicked in. And that lawsuit, yeah, that turned out to be the single biggest mistake Catherine ever made. Because what started as a $3,200 HOA fine ended with her locked out of that lake forever. Her power stripped, her reputation burned to the ground, and karma doing what karma does best, slow at first, then all at once. That morning started the way most of my mornings did. Quiet. Mist floating just above the water like breath in cold air. I was sitting on the edge of the dock at my little lake cabin holding my dad's old fishing rod, the one with the cracked cork handle he refused to replace because, in his words, it still knows how to catch fish. That rod had history. So did that dock. So did that lake. This wasn't just fishing, this was muscle memory for grief. My parents were gone, my grandparents long before them, and somehow this place still smelled like cedar old leather sunscreen and summer nights that never felt like they'd end. Inside the cabin were my grandfather's handmade tackle box, my mom's recipe notebooks, my dad's construction tools, the stuff you don't throw away because it's the closest thing you have left to a conversation. The mist was just lifting when I heard heels behind me, sharp, fast, out of place. I didn't even have to turn around to know who it was. Catherine Perez H. Oh, a president, professional buzzkill walking clipboard of authority, clicking down the wooden walkway like she owned oxygen itself. Phone already up. Recording. Always recording. She dressed like a corporate hostage negotiator even at sunrise blazer, and all like someone might audit the lake. "Good morning, Brandon," she said, smiling the way people smile when they're about to ruin your day. "I'm documenting unauthorized activity on an HOA-managed watershed. New environmental ordinance. Permits required." I turned slowly, rod still in my hands. "Catherine," I said, "I've fished here for 4 years. There's no permit." Her smile didn't move. "You may think that. That doesn't mean you're right." And that's when it hit me. This had nothing to do with fish water or the environment. This was about control. Catherine didn't manage the HOA. She ruled it. Trash cans, lawns, flowers, mailbox colors, parking angles. Every month came a new rule, a new fee, a new way to remind everyone she was watching. What she didn't know yet was that before I worked in tech, before the home office and Zoom calls, I built fences for a living. Real ones. Property lines. Easements. Disputes that ended in courtrooms and grudges that lasted generations. When you spend years installing boundaries, you learn one thing real fast. People love claiming land that isn't theirs. That night, after Kelly and I sat in silence over dinner, I spread my property deed across the kitchen table. Measurements, angles, markers. And there it was clear as day. My property went 15 feet closer to the lake than the HOA had ever admitted. That's when the switch flipped. If Catherine wanted to play property games, I was about to teach her the rules. The certified letter came the next morning, $3,200 fine. County seals, environmental codes meant to scare people who didn't know better. Most folks would have paid. I didn't even finish my coffee before I started sketching fence layouts on the back of the envelope. I spent that week buried in county records, permits, old surveys, and what I found made my blood boil. The HOA had been lying. Not confused, not mistaken. Lying. That's when the twist came. My security cameras caught my neighbor Derek, a guy I'd grilled with, helped move couches for sneaking over to Catherine's house at night. Over and over, feeding her information. My schedule, my routines. When I was home, when I wasn't. That betrayal hurt, but it also told me everything. Catherine wasn't just targeting me, she was collecting intel on everyone, building files, using fear instead of authority. I called Tom Garcia, retired county surveyor, weathered hands, zero patience for nonsense. He took one look at my paperwork and smiled. Sonny said she's been bluffing for years. Tom's survey confirmed it. My property line cut straight through what Catherine called the community access path. Every step she took to reach the lake crossed private land. So I built the fence, legally, perfectly, right on the line. The look on her face when she realized her kingdom had a border, priceless. Neighbors started asking questions. Fees, boundaries, authority. Catherine started panicking. She offered a deal. Drop the fence. I'll drop the fine. Make me a better offer, I said. Because this wasn't about fishing anymore. Then we found the buried survey stakes, deliberately hidden, dated matching county records. She'd known. She'd always known. Court day felt like Christmas. The judge didn't buy Catherine's performance. One question ended it. Do you have county authorization? Silence. Then the photos came out, the buried stakes, the proof of deception. Ruling fence legal, fine void, Catherine exposed. But karma wasn't done. Financial records showed stolen HOA fees, fake invoices, phantom services, thousands pocketed. The community erupted. Catherine melted down, screamed about being ungrateful, resigned in disgrace. Then she escalated. Bolt cutters at night, gasoline hidden by my fence, arson plans. Police caught her in the act, floodlights on gas cans and hand camera rolling. No bail, felony charges, attempted arson. Her house went into foreclosure. Her name became a warning. The lake stayed quiet again. Now some mornings I sit on that same dock, cast the same rod, hear kids laughing where fear used to live. The fence stands not as revenge but as clarity. Here's what I learned the hard way. Authority without truth is just noise. And the moment you stop being afraid to ask for proof, bullies collapse under their own weight. So tell me, where's the line between enforcement and abuse? Between standing your ground and going too far? Drop your story below. I know I'm not the only one who's had to draw a line and defend it.